Hello, everyone. I would like to welcome you guys to the podcast. This is ManCave 101. This is how we're going to be doing it once a week. Podcast is for everyone we're discussing everything that's nerd, everything that has to do with ManCave stuff, ManCave things, and also ManCave situations with no politics, no religion.
You sure?
Yeah, we might dibble and dabble.
We might scream, "Oh God," but that's about it.
Yeah, we might get an "Oh God" in there every once in a while, but it's all about drinking, having fun, hanging out with brothers, and talking about everything that's man cave. I would like to everybody's gonna introduce themselves because this is the way we flow. This is episode 0, so we get better from here.
What's up, everybody? I'm Aaron. Yeah, like you said, here to talk all things nerd. Passing on over.
Big Chase, everything nerd.
Abel, everything nerd.
All right, to start off the podcast, if you're watching, everybody, we started with the drink. Salute.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That was good. The first subject we will be talking about is Marvel and DC. The way this roundtable is going to be going is one person starts the conversation, then the next person gets to pick it up from or either pick it up where the last person left off and give their point of view of it. If we all maybe agree to it, or maybe agree with each other, which we might not agree all the time, but we will get our point across in whatever point you like. Let us know in the comments.
We're also going to get into fights. That's
Yeah,
probably...
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. Don't worry, we're friends, folks. It's safe.
Yeah. We've known each other for a very long time, but it will get heated.
Yeah, it will. But everyone, please comment, enjoy, and let us begin. All right, everything Marvel versus DC. Let's start this off hot. All right, who wants to go first?
I'm going to go first. How about we talk about the recent movie delays from DC and how that's not helping them at all. So, I don't know if you've heard, but Black Adam has now moved from July to October. Aquaman is now slated for 2023, March 17th. The Flash is now delayed until June 23rd, 2023. How about that? So, especially with the Flash movie was supposed to come out in 2018. We're here 5 years later and still don't have a Flash movie. Not to even mention that Zack Snyder's, whole cut and everything had to happen. Ben Affleck's Batman. I mean, you name it, they're having all the problems in the world.
That name should not be spoken.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
You're right.
The irony to this is that the movie's called The Flash, and it's anything but fast and whatnot. How about this movie just never comes out? Like, none of these movies. DC is so far behind Marvel right now. It is just absolutely ridiculous. Marvel is like blazing trails in front of them, and they still can't manage to keep up. It's just absolutely crazy. I'm like, at this point, like, just stick with cartoons and comics, call it a day.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, their anime is like some of the best anime movies. Like all the Batman stuff, Flashpoint, all that stuff. They have that on lock.
Right.
But What If was a pretty good start.
What If was a pretty good start, so also was Miles Morales into the Spider-Verse.
That was insane.
That movie...
Second one coming out this year.
Yeah. The second one is coming out this year, so it's like you can't put... If you can separate the two and you have the DC animated verse and the Marvel animated verse. Which one would you pick?
Marvel.
Oh.
Yeah, that hurts.
Come on.
I mean,
Shout out to Jessica. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to be doing that a lot.
I mean, DC, honestly. I mean, I think the Marvel stuff is cool, but like,
It's
I think if
so new.
DC really...
No, it's not.
If DC really took
The Marvel? Oh, well, you're talking about like the... Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
you're
good.
talking about the Spider-Man, X-Men stuff too. Like, you have to... Okay.
The whole...
Yeah,
okay,
the whole kit and
I mean,
caboodle.
I'm thinking recent.
These are recent.
Recent.
The whole kit and caboodle.
Everything. Well, I mean, the X-Men cartoon from back in the day is crazy good too, and it's coming back out sometime in the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but it's tough because I think like we're all saying here though, if DC really delved into just focusing on not making the DCEU so cut and dry and then like made it more animated, I think it would be way better. Just because we've seen how those, you know, two cartoons have done in the past and they've done really well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if they really went that route instead of resetting the DCEU every 2, 3, 4 years at this point, however often it's been, then I mean I think they could really they could kill it. But Marvel's just ahead right now. That's
the problem with the DC is there's no connectivity,
No.
right? Even like we're about to see things probably in Doctor Strange from What If. Like they're literally connecting their anime to the real stuff.
Yeah.
DC just can't even connect the real stuff to the real stuff.
No.
Right.
DC has to, like you said, there's nothing following. It's like one movie, stop. One movie, stop. There's nothing connecting. Nothing is connecting into the DC universe except just the characters.
Justice League.
Right.
Listen,
Until the Snyder Cut came out,
Right.
I don't count that movie. That movie cannot be
That
counted.
movie was pretty bad.
see, the genius of Marvel is when they went to the comic, they stayed with that. Now they made some changes, but they stayed with the comic. So you go through the comic. At the end of the comic, there's an Easter egg at the very last page. They incorporated that into the movie. The first couple of Marvel movies I went to, I didn't even know. My brother was just like, did you stay until after the credits? I'm
Right.
like, what happened after the credits? And now,
Now you literally get offended if someone
you
leaves.
know what I'm saying? like, where are you going? I think it was Infinity War. At the end of Infinity War, the whole credits rolled and nobody in the theater breathed. No one. Everybody was waiting because we all knew something was going to happen.
To be fair, I didn't breathe for like 2 hours and
Yeah, like-
45 minutes throughout that
And,
movie.
and DC still has yet to incorporate these types of things. They have an excellent inventory of characters, excellent stories to tell, and you know that because you see what they do on the anime side. But bringing it to the film, to video, has just been a complete tragedy. So I don't know who's over there, but they need to fire him, or her, or them, because it's terrible.
All right, I'm gonna give you guys a curveball. Top 3 DC movies.
Ew. I mean, Batman '89's up there. That has to be one.
What?
I mean,
The
and then
GOAT,
the
yeah.
Dark Knight,
Okay.
Dark Knight.
right? You
Come on.
want another one?
3. I need 3.
It's really tough.
There's honestly, it's just a bunch of mid movies after that.
It is.
To be
I mean-
really- I mean, like
Wonder Woman was great.
Wonder Woman was good. Aquaman was solid.
I'll put
I wouldn't
Wonder
even. I don't
Woman,
think I could put Aquaman
Aquaman,
up there.
like
and which one is the one with Vane? Is that the
Oh,
Dark Knight?
Dark Knight, yeah.
Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises. Those 3 right there. I'm done.
all the Batman movies, all 3 of them.
I'm done.
You ain't gonna add Batman versus Superman in there?
That was. Oh my
Yikes.
God.
Why did you say that
Oh
name?
my God. It was just absolutely.
Where's Martha?
Where's Martha?
That was so cringy.
Oh my god.
Even like they didn't like. Did they make Doomsday look right? I feel like they didn't even make Doomsday look
No,
right.
they did not.
He looked like a goon.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. He looked like the.
And they made him
he
such a
looked-
punk.
They made him look like Abomination.
I mean, look.
That's
like,
basically
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
what they did. They said, okay,
Yeah.
they did that. Okay, let's do that here. That way we can all add it up together.
Bridget says Suicide Squad. It's funny you say that,
Okay.
Bridget, because Leo really liked Peacemaker so much,
Yeah.
especially the intro. He was
Oh,
really into it.
All right, so we're gonna get into this conversation tonight. I'm not saving this one for the next one. All right, you haven't seen Peacemaker?
Not yet.
You haven't seen Peacemaker?
I saw it. I saw enough of it.
It was okay.
It was terrible.
It wasn't as bad as you think it is. It was okay.
It was-
I'm not.
Ladies,
I'm not
if
gonna
you want to
completely
see
shit
John
on it.
Cena in his underwear, go ahead.
It was
Cena.
terrible.
But anything,
John Cena.
if you don't want to, if
This
you
is the
want,
whole movie. This is the whole show right here.
if you want to see that, go ahead, go for it. But it has no comic credentials on it, no bite, no backbone,
Yeah, from that part, it's bad.
no, and they keep fighting kaijus. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you have a whole Suicide Squad run of DC Comics and you tell me you cannot pick nothing better than a starfish and a fat, ugly caterpillar, there's something wrong with your staff. You need to get rid of them. It needs to go away. You need to cut it.
The whole fish thing was pretty funny, though. That cameo was kind of funny. It was funny.
First off, you got two people you get to see. You don't even get to see Batman. You don't get to see Superman. He's just a shadow because they can't lose his likeness anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the use of bringing two Justice League people, just the Flash and Aquaman?
Bridget wasn't pleased with Peacemaker either.
It's terrible. It's just a terrible. It reminds me in the 80s we used to watch Benny Hill, and it just reminds me of Benny Hill. It's just a lot worse. At least I laughed at Benny Hill. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, the whole time John Cena's running around with this golden toilet on his head. It was just bad. Like, I couldn't even get past the opener. Once he started dancing and
that opener, like listen, I joke around about it, but it was cringy.
I was just done.
And also, they should be getting worried about fucking copyright infringement, because the costume that his father had in it is the same costume from Ben Stoker's Dracula.
Oh really? I didn't even know what the heck he was. Like, I didn't know.
He was a Klans member. Okay, so let's make this a little bit more edgy. There's more racist jokes in this damn show than anything else. His father was a drag queen dragon of the KKK, and then they decided to use almost the same damn costume as Ben Stoker's Dracula in it. If you put Ben Stoker's Dracula armor in it and you put his in front of it, the only thing is that he has white on it. Everything else pretty much is the same.
Really?
So when Ben Stoker finds out that, hey, you copying my armor from my Dracula movie that's 10 times better than this piece of shit.
Yeah, you're killing my brand.
You're killing my brand, and then you're gonna end up with a freaking nice, lovely lawsuit. All right, so let's get a little bit. Anybody want to go again with this?
Well, no, not even DC. We got to talk about what Marvel's doing right.
Aside,
I mean, listen.
Let me help you. Marvel's doing everything right.
Not everything. All right, wait. Not everything.
Not everything. They're not doing everything right. I gotta dig into them a little bit.
Right. So
Marvel has misses for sure.
They do. So I'll give you a personal miss for me. Not the whole show, but Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The last episode. Aside from him in the suit, it was all over the place. It was very wacky. It was very spread out, confusing. Like, I think. I mean, listen. You know, the pandemic ruined a lot of things, and I think some of those TV shows got caught up into it. I definitely think there was more they were going to do in that show. Maybe even like world pandemic type ending stuff in that last episode. Like, maybe there was something more in the show that they left out, but it just felt like it was missing something. Yeah. But I loved him in the suit. That suit is sick. Yeah. And it's vibranium. Yeah. I'm in. I'm totally in. Like Captain America 4, I'm in. But like the end of that show just like didn't do it for me.
Yeah. You know, for me it's like all origin stories you have to kind of live through them. Like they're never almost all origin stories are like never like, oh my god, that was they're always like okay. But you're just trying to get to the end so that you can get to the real stuff and whatnot. And you know, that whole thing for me is the same thing. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is the beginning of a story. And you got to connect all the dots, create the story. We know the story, so we're just like, okay, just get to the end of this so that I can get to the meat and whatnot. So for me, it was like, okay, they didn't do a bad job, you know.
Like the show as a whole, I think was great. Like even with Bucky, how they like kind of like tried to redeem him a little bit, and like the whole Wakanda stuff, like going back to Wakanda and seeing what he was going, that was awesome. But like there was just, like I said, the end had something missing for me. I don't know what it was even.
Yeah, maybe you get it next season. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
What's your Marvel movie? What's your
Marvel criticism?
We're talking about misses right now.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we talk about DC misses. We got to talk about some Marvel misses. But you have to see, the thing is, and this is why we're having this conversation, you have to really dig for a Marvel miss. Yeah, you have to really think about a Marvel miss.
So
I could give you five right now.
Shows, movies, everything.
No, I give you one right off the top. And we were just talking about this, the Fantastic Four.
Galactus.
So when are we going to fix this thing? Because, you know...
Hold on, let me get Galactus.
What? Show us. There he is.
Galactus
Wait, with
the War
horns.
Eater.
With horns.
Oh my God! Fight for your life. Like we gotta fix this. Put it on its proper legs. Galactus, the Watcher are, even bigger than Thanos in terms of story. So you have to fix this thing.
Yeah.
You have to. And I don't know who, and I know I'm like, yeah, this guy always wants to fire people. Whoever made Galactus a clown, fire his ass.
Fired with a Y.
Fire.
It's not even an I, it's a Y.
Put a cartoon rocket on his ass and light it. A big one. That was just the most terrible thing. And then they came back with the Michael B. Jordan one. That
what the
wasn't
hell was even that?
That wasn't much better.
Ooh,
and
that was. Ooh.
and it's just they gotta fix that. They gotta the Fantastic Four are such an installation into Marvel. It's just like you have to fix this thing. You have to.
Like pretty much the only good thing any of those movies ever did was Silver Surfer, because just the introduction of Silver Surfer was cool.
Yeah, listen,
and it was done.
I'll let
it was
Fishburne
done-
do his voice again. Like
Right.
I'm in with that.
Yeah.
So Shannon has a question for us. What did you guys think of Black Widow?
Black Widow was dope.
Yeah,
I like
It's
it.
a
I like
solid.
the
It's a
movie.
solid Marvel.
It's a
movie.
solid.
Solid, hated Taskmaster.
Right, Taskmaster was an iffy subject, honestly.
The costume was a little bit off.
But again,
It was
origin
it was
Not
more
only
than
that,
all
but
right.
it
So
was- it was the-
I was gonna say, was that even comic book accurate? I don't know. Like,
No.
not at all, right? Like
Not
that's
at
like
all.
Masters, right?
Yeah.
Like that's his thing.
Yeah,
no
Like
way.
Yeah.
that's the only part of Widow I didn't like. But like Guardian was awesome. Their whole family dynamic. Oh, and let's talk about my girl. Let's talk about my girl.
You want another shot?
He got
emotional.
He got all passionate. Like, hey.
She's out there saying, "Why you posing so much?" Throw her head back. I'm like, yeah.
Kate Bishop.
She was
Hello,
so
Kate Bishop.
good. She was so.
So
Yelena was so good,
So
and she
I'm
was.
Yelena.
guessing you like the Hawkeye series.
No, actually.
What?
All right, that was not my kingpin. That was not my kingpin.
Well,
But it wasn't Yelena.
Shoot, spoilers, by the way.
Wait,
we gotta talk. We gotta mention spoilers when
Wait,
we're
but
talking about it. It was different.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but the fact of the matter is, now that spoilers, I mean, now that Daredevil's been reintroduced, I don't think the Kingpin arc is exactly over, because you don't. Exactly
No, it's
see
not.
It.
Like he,
You know what I
like
mean?
yeah. I mean,
So, like, I feel like
we really need to preface spoilers.
So, sorry, spoilers. I feel like you could get Kingpin back in a darker way, so to speak, in Daredevil. You
Like,
know what I mean?
I think Echo's gonna be good.
Right.
I
and
like Echo. I
and
like
Daredevil.
Echo.
Like that arc.
I thought that was a
should
good
be
ad, and then yeah.
So, what was your worst? Come on now.
Nah, I'm okay.
Come on, give
okay,
it. Give it. Let
Well,
it out.
no, well, we
Let-
already
let-
know where this is going.
No.
Let it out.
No, you don't.
Okay, all right,
No,
we're gonna
so,
save that.
So first of all, I'm gonna let everybody know on this podcast that my least favorite.
Where's the
Marvel,
Aaron meter on this
No,
thing?
it's fine. My least favorite Marvel movie, which I'm gonna save for another time, is Captain Marvel. I'm not gonna get into why right now. I'll talk about it another time because my blood pressure
We can
needs to be
do a
regulated.
whole 8-hour podcast on.
but for me, honestly, Marvel's biggest miss is Thor: The Dark World, 100%. And not for nothing, the fact that Thor Ragnarok redeemed his arc so well is something to be said entirely, because I thought Thor was one of my favorite characters in Marvel. Period. So the fact that I watched Thor: The Dark World and I was just insulted by everything that happened in this movie. Literally, Thor looked weak. He was being beaten by red mist. It was just a weird...
The red sludge.
You're right, the red sludge. It was just... The whole thing was just weird. And the fact that you could redeem it with Ragnarok, to me, and now, obviously, Fat Thor and where we're at now. Yeah, Fat Thor is terrific, by the way. But I mean, that movie is such a miss. And honestly, it's probably... right now, this MCU, like, whatever we consider the past 20 movies, not going back further than that, but I mean, between that and Hulk is probably the worst movies. But I'll take Thor just because I thought that they were gonna just kill Thor the entire, like, just kill off the Thor story arc and not make it correct. But thank God that they built it back up to what it was.
Right.
Okay,
So-
let me just say something here, because a lot of people knock Captain Marvel. And
You get his blood pressure.
the one thing that I have to say about this is that when you put a Marvel character in a story, they have to be like. The Hulk is an earthly character. You can put him in space, but we understand he's gonna smash. Captain Marvel is a cosmic character. She's supposed to be in space. Why is she flying past Wendy's? Why is she underground on the subway? I don't know. But again, if you take her and she's supposed to be Guardian of the Galaxy, she's supposed to be in that level of storyline.
Yep, this is
So
happening.
this is why, you know,
This is gonna happen.
Captain
we
Marvel
can't.
is just
Can't have nice things.
it's terrible.
This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen.
Nah,
We have to put her back in her proper atmosphere, her proper surroundings, which is in the cosmos, which is what she does,
Right.
which is what her job is. Hello, she's a space sheriff, basically. Like,
Chase is not saying anything. I
You know
just
what I mean?
No,
exactly.
he's-
Captain Marvel is a cool character.
Right.
The way
They did it
Marvel
wrong.
introduced her
I understand.
is awful.
Yeah.
It's an
Yeah,
awful
like-
origin
yeah.
story.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yep.
It is horrible.
I
She's
will-
a really cool character. She's really strong. I just don't like that she was dropped in on us as this super powerful chick who can go through spaceships
Right.
and come out of the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And by the way, can be brought to you with a beeper.
I was just
Yeah,
really
yeah,
mad
like,
that she
yeah.
had the
What
comm
are
with
we
her the whole
talking about?
time, and
What are we doing?
Cap was like, "We need an assist."
Right.
Like, she just had the comm on her.
Yeah,
Right.
like-
oh, she was there. Oh,
Right.
cool.
like,
There
oh
she
yeah,
is.
she just
It
happened.
felt like
yeah.
she was forced, is my
Yep.
point.
Oh,
She
so-
was like forced on us.
So a couple things. Jason, shout out to you. Shannon would like to know if Shang-Chi was any good. Shang-Chi was awesome.
Shang-Chi
Ooh.
was awesome.
Oh,
Shang-Chi is the most underrated Marvel movie in my opinion.
Ooh.
One of.
Yeah, this does
Honestly.
not get enough credit, and it
It
still
doesn't.
gets credit. I liked Shang-Chi.
So-
It
Yeah.
does. Shang-Chi was a dope movie.
the graphics and also the storyline was pretty dead on.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%.
The
Yeah.
story dead on. The
costumes,
the costumes.
all of
Costumes
it.
were good.
Yo, they were making
Everything
Dragon Ball
CGI was-
Z
CGI was
references.
really good.
Yes, they were making Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Z references, and you get to see a lot of other comic book characters inside of
Yep.
other Marvel characters inside that movie.
Yep, shout out to
Yeah.
PJ. Shang-Chi
And-
is
and
my
I-
favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
like
Shang-Chi
this.
is a
We like this,
Shang-
PJ. What's up?
Shang-Chi is a
And
dope
Shang-Chi
movie.
has
Yes.
Shang-Chi again it's origin. You have to live through the origin story. If you want to get to the real meat of you have to live through the origin story.
Right.
Shang-Chi is an origin story.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get the big bells and whistles necessarily off of the first one, but you have to get through it so that you know what's going on. And that was what Shang-Chi was for me. Now I come from the era where we used to watch kung fu movies at 3 p.m. on Saturday,
Yeah,
so
man.
it wasn't enough really kung
Right.
fu things going on.
right.
But me understanding where this leads is more important. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
100%.
Right.
Yeah, the fact that Wong came in with Abomination.
I was gonna
question
say
mark,
Wong.
like,
The
whoa.
fact that Wong-
Abomination.
Like we don't know anything really about the Ten Rings yet, and they're gonna play a part in
Right.
the
It's
future.
definitely a
It's
cosmic. They're
be-
gonna make it cosmic
It's
something.
gonna be cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Marvel should go a cool direction.
You guys
honestly.
are going to be expecting something in the Secret Wars. That's
Oh,
a spoiler. I'm not
Secret War.
I'm
That's
not
a
gonna be
whole-
sorry.
that's a whole podcast,
wait,
too.
Hold
It's
on,
so far away,
hold
though.
on. Let me put up my
Yes.
my
Yeah,
worst
you need.
Marvel.
Yeah, let's hear it.
My worst
Worst
Marvel
Marvel
movie.
movie.
I didn't even
is
say my
Marvel.
worst.
Ben Affleck's Daredevil. Anybody got me beat?
Nah, not really. Not really.
Wait. There is one. Elektra.
I really hated Iron Man.
I actually like
3.
Elektra better than I like Daredevil.
I'm not gonna say it was worse than Daredevil, but listen. All right, so you know, how, like I've been on this for a while. You know, how everyone said like you got Ralph Bonard, right? We got Aldrin Killian, okay? We got Trevor Slattery, okay?
Dude.
Yo, by the way, shout out to Wendell, who
Wendell.
is number 5 on this
Wendell.
podcast and will be coming soon. Wendell,
Wendell.
what's
Yes.
up?
What's up, bro?
Yo, tell us about how we got Trevor Slattery on Iron Man 3 because that shit made me mad. That's the original Ralph Boner. Don't even tell me it's not.
Dude, listen. Once you have Daredevil in the S&M cage,
Right.
when he's hanging up
Sure.
when he's hanging up all his leather,
Yeah, that's a different movie.
it's a different movie.
That's a
That's
different
fine.
movie.
I'll watch Colin Farrell go like this all day.
Exactly. And then you have Colin Farrell going like this all day, and him still having the Irish accent, but meanwhile, Bullseye wasn't fucking Irish. But I'm not going there. So you have one really shitty actor, and then you have Colin Farrell.
Yep.
When you say Ben Affleck is the star of the role, and Colin Farrell is more noticeable in the fucking movie,
Right.
as a second actor, there's a problem. why do you continue to make the same movie and the worst CGI I've ever seen in my fucking life?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, okay,
I mean,
Daredevil can hear Daredevil,
pre-Feige Marvel. You know what I mean?
but
Pre-Feige
yeah,
Marvel.
pre-Feige
Yo,
Marvel, but you
Feige's
also
always creeping in the background though. Like,
Nah,
dude, when the original X-Men came out, now I'm not comparing that to you know,
Right.
but I'm saying like Kevin Feige was like on the crew on that before he was Kevin Feige. So like he's
Fox's X-Men?
Yes.
Okay.
He's creeping in the background somewhere, and somewhere he saw that and said, "This is okay." Like, listen, everyone has a miss.
No, yeah, I can get down with that.
But the only problem is Marvel right now with the Netflix special is fixing the Daredevil
All
mess.
right, hold on. Jeffrey
Yeah.
Kendall. Apparently, you didn't see Fantastic Four in 1994.
Oh, we saw it.
1994.
Yes, we did. Yes, we
I
did.
actually don't think I did.
I've probably.
Which
seen
one is that?
I've probably seen that.
1994, yes, it's horrible.
It's
Nah.
bad.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
it's bad.
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that
Yeah,
up.
yeah, go YouTube that and then come back and tell me.
Let me put it this way. There's a reason.
What
Fanta-
about Michael
th-
Clark Duncan?
There's a reason why Fantastic.
Yeah,
Four-
that was terrible. That was absolutely terrible. Like I agree. Michael Duncan Clark ex Kingpin. I was just like,
Come on now.
But don't
like,
you guys think
you
there's a
gotta
reason-
like
my
the
guy,
Green
man.
Mile dude. Like,
yes, a
Listen.
boss.
listen,
You leave Michael Clark.
Listen,
Marcus
listen.
Compton is cannot be
Listen,
touched in this
he is an
table.
angel.
He's an angel
Listen,
again.
there's a lot of characters he can play. Kingpin is not one of them.
I don't know, man. He's a
End of story.
big fucking boy.
That's my guy. Listen, I love Michael Duncan Clark, but he cannot play Kingpin. End of story.
I mean, he can cure people by sucking fleas out of their mouth.
Yeah, listen, I'll let that ride. I'll let that
No,
ride.
honestly though, there's a reason why Fantastic Four has been pushed out to 2024.
It's because
I'm
they're
telling
trying
you,
to get it right.
Marvel
Yeah.
is going to get this
Yes.
next installment of Fantastic
I
Four
will
right. I'm
wait for
telling
it
you.
to be
They
right.
have to.
They have to.
Because if
can't
they
miss.
don't, it's over.
Yeah.
There's no, you can't do it
You can't
again.
redeem it
That's
no
it.
more.
Honestly,
There's
I would
no
even
more
say-
I don't
redeeming.
want to turn. This is
No.
my
Especially
biggest
this
gripe
MCU
with
movie, you know
the
what I mean?
MCU. I don't want them to turn into DC.
They won't. They won't.
They
They
won't.
fucked up Marvel. They fucked up Fantastic Four so
Yeah,
many times.
Right, but that was
Yeah.
fine.
Look,
But that's
yeah,
fine.
that's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
And see, the thing about it is, they keep trying to make this thing kid friendly and family friendly, and some of these stories are just dark.
Dark.
Dare-
No, we getting there. We getting. We're
Yeah.
gonna
Oh,
get there.
we're about to get
Dare-
to that.
Daredevil is just a
Dark.
dark
100%.
story with a lot of
100%.
that you don't want your kid watching. You put the kids to bedtime on that.
So, in conclusion, Marvel and DC. Who we got?
Marvel.
We got Marvel.
Marvel.
That's it.
Marvel.
We really want to love DC. Listen, I started getting into this stuff with Batman and Superman. Like, that's how I got into superheroes. And it kills me that they can't get it right.
But also, you have to give. I give. This is the one thing I do give DC. Their animated series
Yes.
is
It's dope.
It's
Right.
fantastic.
It's dope.
It's dark. It is the way it's
Right.
supposed to be. But once you keep revamping the same characters
Oh,
so
so
many
many
times,
It just
It's gonna
you
get stale.
can't. It
Right.
gets stale,
It's gonna get stale.
it just
and
proves
they
how
can't
weak
keep
you are.
and they can't keep the same actor.
Yeah,
No.
and it just proves how weak you are to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'll tell you what's
Right.
crazy. The
Marvel
Justice
has not even
League
close from
cartoon
PJ.
series,
We see you, PJ.
I got a
Yeah.
new respect for Batman. The Batman to me was always kind of just like, okay, he's corny, you know. But the Justice League series, they listen. Whoever rewrote them, give him a super promotion.
Yes.
Snyder
Because no, we're talking about the cartoon series, the Justice League cartoon
yes,
series.
yes. Oh yeah, definitely.
Determined, not taking any shit, doing what he wants to do and doing it well, going up against people who we were like, oh no, Batman can't beat him. Like, oh shit, he beat him? Like, so you can't tell me that you cannot take this and turn this into real life film and video. The problem is that you keep worrying about the family factor. Oh, we got to make it family friendly. We don't want them to do too much. Man, listen, if you don't go all out, you're never going to get it.
Yep.
You're never going to get it. And what Marvel does well is they made their stories about the people, but it's, you know, they just happen to be the Hulk and happen to be Black Widow, but it's about the people. The Hawkeye series was so genius to me because
it was so family related, but it was also
There were some
Yeah,
really
it was
good
good
moments
too,
in
but-
that.
And she gets inspired because they basically break her building,
Yeah,
and she like looks out and sees Hawkeye. She's like, "Oh yeah, I want to do that." That's oh my god, that's just genius.
Yo, and Haley Atwell though.
You and these women, boy.
Dude, he's
Listen, man, I'm gonna call
very
it like
warm
I
and
see
passionate
it.
over
I'm gonna
there.
call it like I see it. I'm a passionate man.
I mean, listen, but, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, that's a lot of like.
I,
passionate.
I, mean,
passionate
I
man.
don't know how you guys feel about it, but the other thing that really bothers me with DC is the fact that, I mean, the recasting constantly is just
So obnoxious.
and hear me out. I don't think they've done a particularly good job casting in the past, but more so I forget her name. Who's Wonder Woman?
Oh, Gal Gadot.
She's great.
Yeah.
She sure
She's
is.
great.
Yeah.
They
That-
just
that-
feeling
I'm
passionate
passionate.
again.
I'm feeling passionate. I'm feeling passionate with that one.
You made me feel passionate.
Okay, but hear me out.
I'm passionate with you on that one.
Here where I'm going. She's great, right? We've had Batman agree, disagree.
Yeah, we're gonna get into Batman a little bit.
Agree, disagree. There's been so many of them at this point, but some have been good and some have been bad, right?
Yes.
We'll say that.
Yes.
Losing Henry Cavill as Superman is awful.
Terrible.
It's awful.
Terrible move.
Because he's a great Superman.
good.
The stories just weren't good enough to reel you in to get into the Superman.
Right.
But he is when I think
Great
of Superman, I see Henry
I
Cavill.
actually
You know what I mean?
I liked Man of Steel, but Batman vs Superman was
right,
trash.
Batman versus
the Justice
Superman
League
was
had
garbage.
what it
Justice
had.
League, right? Exactly.
Right. I mean, dude,
That's my
even
point.
Even Shazam was. I liked Shazam, like for what it was.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
listen,
But
for what it
Shazam-
was.
and
but
you
Shazam
can-
is one.
Go ahead.
Shazam is one of those that you can.
It's a kid.
you-
It's kind of a kiddie thing.
It's a kid movie because when he says Shazam, he goes back to being a kid.
Right.
So you see the humor in there because he does not have the ability to understand his
He's not
limitations.
unstoppable.
By the way,
know what I mean?
Shazam was actually moved up after they moved all those movies back, so it's going to be Black Adam and Shazam.
Yeah,
So like there
of
might be
course.
something there.
Of course, we're
but
trying to get the kids.
The Rock is Black Adam.
I
Don't
have
get
to-
me started.
I
I
have
don't
to
even
watch
want to talk
Shazam.
No,
about that.
okay. So our next segue
Yeah.
is none of us in this room have seen the Bat yet.
No, I haven't
We
seen
have
it.
not seen Batman. We are seeing it this weekend.
weekend.
Some of us.
Yes.
No, I'm judging it now.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. Or as Leo likes to call him, Glitter Chest.
Robert
Yes.
Pattinson.
Yes.
So do
for
we
my
take this
new-
now? That's
Yes. All right. Before the next subject,
Yeah, we take the shot. Take the shot. Thanks for hanging out, peeps.
all right. The Bat.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
I will actually go
Predictions.
first.
All right. This is just predictions. No judgment, but predictions.
Oh, I was gonna talk about like reviews that I've heard and all that stuff. You don't want
That's
me
what
to
I was
do
going to get into. too.
Nah, don't get into no reviews.
right, so, like,
what
me
you
personally-
personally think was gonna happen.
that? Listen, no, me personally,
Yeah, but it-
I actually like I've read all the reviews. I've spoiled shit
Yeah,
for myself.
exactly.
Like I've done all that.
I haven't spoiled it.
I've spoiled. Listen, I'm king spoiler. Like I just like want to know, and I want to know now. I for one like didn't think Robert Pattinson would be good at all. Like I'm really anti Robert Pattinson, but like I'm reading too much crap that I can't ignore. It's annoying. All about Zoe Kravitz. Very passionate about Zoe Kravitz. I'm very passionate about Zoe Kravitz.
Passionate.
I actually heard Penguin was very good, but I actually heard the best character in this movie is Gotham City. I heard they made Gotham City the most Gotham City it's ever been made in a movie, and that's what interests me. Very dark, very gritty, even more than the Nolan movies from what I've read. And there's multiple people saying that. So like, you can't. It's the only reason I want to see it is because I need to see what is going on in this movie.
Okay.
All 3 hours of it. Ugh.
Go ahead.
So, for me, I think it's clearly a dark movie.
BJ, we love you.
Kind of reminds me of what's the movie with the serial killer?
Which one?
The Zodiac Killer?
Seven.
Oh, 7.
Oh,
Cut-
7.
The
Riddler, right?
The whole
No, the
thing.
movie 7.
The movie Seven. The whole
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
thing reminds me of Seven when you see the outtakes and all of that. At this point, for me, you have to fix Batman into a permanent fixture that we can love consistently. Whoever, Robert Pattinson is definitely not that guy, but that doesn't mean that this won't be a good story, that it won't be, a good outtake, But I'm just looking for a little bit more than that, because what I'm hearing is serial killer and so it's just like, this is Seven with a superhero in it.
Yep. And Wendell did see the movie, and he's even commenting, yes, it's true, Gotham is great. So, listen, the whole city itself might be an awesome take.
Yeah.
But also, here's another hot take, too, right? All these crazy move-around movies for DC, they might, because of the success of Batman, make Robert Pattinson the Batman for the Justice League moving forward. That might be why they're going to do reshoots for The Flash. Like that. Yeah, listen. But this is what we're dealing with.
But it doesn't match.
I know.
It doesn't match.
But you know what, though? Look at Ben Affleck and like, if they decided to keep Henry, whatever his name is, as Superman, would you rather see Ben Affleck in him, or would you rather see Robert Pattinson in him?
Okay.
More importantly, would the average moviegoer, what would they rather see?
Okay.
Especially after liking the Batman. That's the problem.
First
I don't want to see Ben Affleck anywhere.
All right, listen. All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna say
Okay.
this about Ben
Okay.
Affleck: the scene where he beat the crap out of everyone in that warehouse was cool. We haven't seen Batman do shit like that.
Yeah,
but other than that,
that's the stunt
get
double
rid of the
one.
rest of it.
That's
Whatever.
not even him. That's stunt double. That's not even him.
It was his Batman.
I'll be honest with you. Months ago, I told Abel this when I first heard that Robert Pattinson was going to be Batman. I said, in no way am I going to see a Batman featuring Twilight. It's not going to happen.
Correct.
Because that's what I look at Robert Pattinson as. He's the vampire from Twilight.
Yes.
And you know what? Maybe that's not fair of me, because I don't know Robert Pattinson on a personal level. But that's what I judge him on, because that's what I know him as. Just the same way I judge Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Right.
I see Robert Pattinson as Twilight.
Correct.
My issue is, though, and just like Abel said, I've seen reviews. I haven't seen spoilers. I'm not trying to spoil the movie for myself.
Yeah, I'm that
But
guy.
I will say this. All I heard is this is a darker, grittier Batman, and I'm in for that. I want a more violent... Anybody here seen the TikTok of I think you got him. I want that Batman, the one that's pounding people into the dirt.
Yeah.
There's blood on his head. I want that Batman.
PJ Cedric Diggory. That's right. Leave Cedric Diggory
I
alone.
I want that, and if that's the Batman that we get moving forward,
Yeah.
I'm in. I don't care if it's Robert Pattinson. I'll give dude a pass. I haven't seen him act in anything other than, and I haven't seen Twilight. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Twilight,
No,
so
no,
no judgment.
I've seen it.
The Batman series.
I've seen it.
I've never seen it.
I have to see
Then
it.
I'm not gonna see
Seen
it.
it.
I want to see the Batman series
Right.
in real life, the Batman cartoon
Yep.
series. That dude,
Right.
I want to see him in real life.
Even
And
Jeffrey says repetitive villains getting old too.
Yeah.
Okay, so
but-
this is my take on the Bat. I haven't seen no spoilers. I've seen a couple of reviews. You can make. This is my point. You can make any city, just add a little bit of shade into it. You can make any city dark, just turn off a light.
What do you mean?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Okay, let me put a shadow. Okay,
What do you mean by that?
Look, this is
What do you
dark.
mean by that?
This is dark.
I couldn't resist.
This is dark.
I'm the meme culture guy. I
What
couldn't
do you mean by
resist.
This is.
What do you mean
this-
by that?
It's, I, like everybody else, I know him from Twilight. That's why I call him Glitter Chest. That's it's
He's
true.
very Glitter Chest.
It's Glitter Chest. And the things that I've heard, okay, I heard that the Riddler is dark. He's better, and he's playing more. Batman's playing more of a detective, and I do understand that this is in his beginning years. But I'm sorry, you're a billionaire. You could do better than a fucking Charger. First point.
The Batmobile.
Oh.
It's literally like a makeshift charger.
Is it?
Yes.
I heard people say it was really good.
I mean, I haven't seen
Anybody,
it.
who,
I've seen
anybody,
enough
anybody who watched Fast and the Furious, I could build that in my fucking garage with Amazon parts.
Okay, that's fair.
because family.
Yes,
Because family.
for family.
family.
for family. So, this is, and I'm sorry, I don't want to see an emo fucking Batman. I want to see a confident
Well, so you're talking about Bruce Wayne though.
No, I'm talking about the Batman. The Batman was being confident because he learned his fucking ninja skills.
But this is a year 2 Batman we're talking about.
But it's a year 2 Batman, and you still don't do it. You're not doing it right. You got fucking
You
pants
don't-
on under
you
your
don't know
Batman
because we
suit.
haven't seen the movie.
I seen the picture of the bat suit, and it looks like he has jeans under his
Right.
bat.
Again, a year 2 Batman, bro.
So why would you have jeans
what do
if
you
you're a
mean?
billionaire?
I don't know. Listen,
What do you mean by year 2 Batman?
he's literally like in his second year of being Batman in the movie.
Batman.
But
He's
if
a
he-
very young Batman.
Okay, so if he's a very young
Yeah,
Batman, so
yeah.
when,
Okay.
okay, so when did he get? When did he go to the League of Shadows?
Oh,
If
I
he's-
don't know. Let me look at my fucking book of like when Robert Pattinson did anything. I have no idea. I'm
It was
playing.
before he became fucking
Batman,
Batman. That's what
yeah.
I'm saying.
Okay, that's fair.
So why the fuck are you in jeans? Why are you in a fucking billionaire? And why the fuck are you driving around in a Charger that a bullet could go right through?
I don't know, man. I didn't make it.
And then
Ask
you
him.
make the Riddler look like a fucking guy with a trash bag on his head.
I did not like how the Riddler looks. I do not like it.
I haven't even seen it.
He looks.
I've seen
stupid.
pictures. All I'm
Haven't
talking
seen
about
it.
is the pictures of that I've seen. I haven't seen the movie. I haven't seen the acting. But
PJ says Pattinson should have been Batman Beyond, and I actually agree with
Oh,
that.
that's
yes,
That's
see,
actually
that's
a solid
That's,
take.
that's a
Great
more.
take.
That's
That's a great take.
That's
That's
a
a
more
great take.
He is a more emu character
Exactly.
than fucking
Exactly.
playing Batman.
Oh, and you know how they do it? They take freaking Keaton's Batman, who's gonna be in Flashpoint, and they
fucking throw him.
PJ. Shout out to PJ. God damn it, yes.
That's the way you do it. But the
Hell
problem
yes.
is, I haven't seen the movie. Everybody's gonna hate me for it.
Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond,
Smart.
and bring in the new villains in Batman Beyond.
I don't remember a lot of Batman Beyond, to be honest.
Dude,
I-
it
I-
has-
That's
don't,
such a good
but they
point.
have-
Yeah,
honestly.
They
that's a
have
great
class-
take.
That's
They
a
have
great
a,
take.
love
they have a
that.
classic. They have a classic. Like Chase said, they have. You don't have to write these fucking movies. These movies already
They
been
write
written.
themselves.
They've already been written.
Yeah.
So
And they're
you-
good.
And they're
Yeah.
good.
And they're good.
And I know,
But see, like,
they
even-
should be used storyboarding this shit. I
Because
know.
if you play Arkham Knights on PlayStation or Xbox,
Greatest games.
fucking greatest games
The
ever.
greatest fucking
Why can't you just follow those fucking storylines
don't
in the
know.
game? You have fucking 3 references. You got the comic book, you got the comic book, you got the video games,
And the animated series.
and the animated series.
Can we just put Mark Hamill in everything as the Joker? Please? Please.
Dude,
So wait, but what? Here's my thing, and I don't know. So like your issue is casting so far, right? Pattinson.
my issue
So
is
who would be your Batman then? Honestly,
my Batman right now.
Pick it. Like I don't care if it's old Batman.
I would have
somebody you
paid.
haven't
I
seen
would have
the
paid the
Batman.
same person that played the Dark Knight. I would have paid him whatever the fuck.
Oh
he
yeah,
wanted.
Christian Bell.
Christian
I would have paid.
Bale?
Oh, yeah.
I would have paid Christian Bale whatever the fuck
Yeah.
he
The
wanted.
Yeah.
problem is,
Okay.
like,
I would have
those
I would
movies-
literally.
Okay.
I would have literally gave him. What? What is it in the last the Dark Knight? How much he made? Over
If-
300.
If
Yes.
those
I would have gave him
movies-
$500 million. You're paying this for the next 5 years.
If those movies would have been
That's fair.
made like 5-7 years later, he'd be in this world. That's the problem. Those movies were made, you know,
Right.
or maybe he just didn't want to do it anymore. I mean, listen,
was
after
sad.
I'm sure after Heath's passing too, that had an
I
effect.
probably hadn't.
Well,
Because think about the Dark Knight Rises, like they weren't gonna do Bane, they were gonna do Joker again.
No.
Like
They were gonna
They
do
were
it.
gonna do
By the way,
Joker
that's
again.
my favorite Batman.
But,
villain.
I
Yeah.
love Bane.
Yes,
Bane?
Bane
Yo.
is my guy.
Bane is.
I
Bane was
Halloween
so...
costumed him, man. That was
Yeah.
great.
Listen,
that was one
That,
of my
that
favorites.
movie was my favorite Batman.
Yeah,
villain
yes, and
in all these
in
movies.
that movie, like
And
that
I
was the
love
realest
he
that
was-
it got. Like
he was
Bane
evil.
was tough as shit.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I was looking forward
Yeah.
to seeing him
Yeah.
again.
Do you
When-
feel
when
control?
I literally have gone back on YouTube just to watch the clip of "You thought darkness could save me." I was like, oh, every time, like, oh.
No, dude, the part where he like puts his hand out, he's like, "Do you feel in control?" I'm like, "Oh!"
And you're like,
Dude,
I sure don't.
The
No.
best scene in that movie is when he has the broken bat mask.
Oh
And he
yeah,
just
Yo.
walking with it, and he just
Well,
throws
no,
it.
yo,
Like-
in
And
the
I was like,
Yo.
you a bad
No,
motherfucker.
in the
You a bad
in the
motherfucker,
movie
boy.
theater when he punched him in the mask, like I'm like,
Yo.
I thought he was
You're like-
fucking dead.
you're like, stop the
film. He tapped out. Let him go. Let him go. Let him breathe.
he broke his back like he did in the
yeah.
comic. And then the jail cell, he's like, once you're completely broken and you realize you can't be saved, then I give you permission to
Right.
die.
But this is what I'm saying though. When you have a moment like that, you have to understand something. So when you do this, and then Batman finally heals and comes back, Do you know what Batman's revenge looks like at that point? It sure as hell doesn't look like just a boomerang or some shit. Like Batman's gonna take this shit to a whole other level of violence. If you're afraid to go dark with it, just don't do the fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For sure.
But that's
I love
that's
it.
But that's what we're. That's
That's
Batman's supposed to be dark and gritty.
Exactly.
But the problem is you're getting it from Robert
I mean,
Pattinson.
listen.
So is everybody gonna accept
honestly,
that?
at this point,
That's the problem.
I'll take Bat Nipples back. Give me Freeze as Arnold. It's gonna be a cold.
No, but see,
no.
honestly, this is. But this we can.
Everybody freeze!
we can leave the subject alone at this point, but afterwards. But I'll just say this: to your point before, if they would have kept Henry Cavill as Superman, would anybody have believed that Robert Pattinson could fight Henry Cavill?
I
in
mean,
a
no,
fist fight?
you're right, no shot.
I don't care what type of tech you put on him. He's getting his ass.
That's
kicked.
fair.
It doesn't matter.
That is very
like,
fair.
At least Ben Affleck, you were like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they put like little things.
but like,
in his
if I see Twilight going up against Henry Cavill, I'm like, oh, he's dead. Like, he's
Right.
gonna die. He's gonna break his neck.
I mean,
There's
listen,
no way.
I mean, it sounds like a win-win for us. Like,
I mean, but now,
No, you just gotta put him in the sunlight.
maybe he'd wonder where Martha is.
No, that's why they made the movie so dark, because he can't be in the sunlight. All the glitter start fucking shining, and you'll find him. So to beat Batman, all you
like-
need is a fucking flashlight.
But like, hear me out. We just saw a point up there before saying, oh, like I forget. I think it was either PJ or Wendell. I'm not sure. But they said the villains are getting repetitive. Where
Oh,
do
that
you-
was Jeffrey. Yeah,
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. Yeah.
Where do you go from here with Batman villains?
You know where they go? Court of Owls.
How about
That's where they go. They go Court of
Really?
Owls.
That's where you go from here?
Dude.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
never done it. They've
Justice
never
League.
done it.
Or
But-
Justice
but-
League.
but-
Do Justice League right.
but-
the Snyder Cut.
Ooh, have
He fought-
Batman fight the Justice League? Is that what you're saying?
Robert Pattinson's not fighting the Robert Pattinson's not fighting the Justice League.
No, it's fine. We get Ryan Reynolds to come back as Green Lantern. Like we do that. we do this right.
We do this right.
Listen to me.
Right.
Robert Pattinson in a gauntlet against the Justice League. He's not getting past Wonder Woman. There's no way, and that's not called Wonder Woman week. She's a badass.
But yo,
She's
in the
whooping his
comics,
ass.
in the
He's not getting
comics,
Superman. You know
in
what I
the
mean?
comics,
There's no way.
Batman had an answer for everyone.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Bro.
He
had
did
it.
his research.
No, he
Okay,
did.
had
No,
an
he,
answer
that's
for
one thing in the
everyone.
comics he did. In the Justice League, that's
In
what
the comics.
that was his failsafe. He was the greatest
He had-
detective.
he
He was
had
one
a
of the greatest
fail-safe for
detectives.
everybody.
That's fair.
He
Okay.
had-
Even
had
for
an
himself, he had a failsafe for himself in case he
Alright.
would fucking lost it.
But
Yeah.
Listen, I'm in. If they do it right, I'll give
But
it a
this,
shot.
but
You
this
know
is
what I
why
mean?
you have to put somebody in there who really has that persona.
Right.
You have to have somebody in there who, even as Bruce Wayne's the millionaire playboy, but that doesn't mean that he's not watching and paying attention. When what kills me in the story is when Batman's Bruce Wayne, he's just the carefree playboy. He's not paying attention to anything. That's not him.
Mhm.
The people keep thinking that Bruce Wayne and Batman, like Batman's the alter ego.
Mhm.
He's not. Batman is the real guy. Bruce Wayne is the alter ego.
That's fair.
It's just like with Iron Man.
Mhm.
You know, Iron Man's the real guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they
Right.
keep missing. You know what I mean? Like,
But the thing is, they don't catch. With Iron Man, they catch his God complex.
yes.
That's the one thing they do. In Marvel, they caught his God complex. Because when he told Captain America, everything's better than everything that was great in you is made
It's
in a
made in
fucking
a vial.
in a fucking vial.
Yeah.
And then my father created that vial.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when he told him I'm a playboy philanthropist, he told
Yeah.
him the truth to his face.
Playboy
Yeah.
billionaire philanthropist.
Motherfucking Captain America had to shut the fuck up, and Black Widow looked
Yeah.
at him like, "Ooh, you might get
But
something."
this is another reason. But this is another reason why Marvel's amazing, because Captain said he's not the one to make the sacrifice play. What'd he do?
He made the
sacrifice
sacrifice play.
He made the sacrifice.
Totally sacrifice.
He kept the MCU
All right.
going.
So before we get into the next subject, do you guys want to talk about going dark in DC and Marvel, or go straight to Moon Knight?
I mean, we already kind of touched on the dark thing. I mean,
All right. So let's
Oh,
go.
Moon Knight.
Let's talk about the predictions of next subject, next shot.
Thanks everyone for stopping by again. Cheers.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Sir, salute. All right. Predictions on Moon Knight.
it's probably gonna suck.
Yeah, you think it's gonna suck?
I gotta be honest.
No, it's fine.
I remember the original Moon Knight comic when it first came out. My problem number one is I'm not really digging the new artwork for the new Moon Knight that they've brought back, and to me that just kind of gives you the edge on what's gonna happen when they bring it to the screen. Moon Knight is also a dark story, so at this point, I don't think that they're comfortable doing these dark stories because what they want to do is make these films family friendly, kid friendly. You get a touch of this and that, but you can't do that with certain characters. Certain characters, just the story's dark. It is what it is. So I think for me, once they do this, you're just gonna be sitting in there like, why'd they do that? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? So I'm thinking this is probably gonna suck.
So where do you place it in terms of darkness with like a Blade or a Ghost Rider or like some of those like rated, like a Deadpool, which was rated, like those rated R movies? Like, is he really that hardcore?
He's
rated R.
He's
Yeah.
I really don't know too much about Moon Knight.
Yeah,
Like,
he has to be rated R.
He's dark.
And really, in terms of everything, Moon Knight is actually a night character. He's not really a daytime character. He's really like a night character in terms of his story. So at that point, the atmosphere is already dark because most of his stuff is at night. And then, based on his actions and his powers and all of that, most of the stuff is happening at night. So this is just a little bit below a Daredevil story.
okay.
So you have to I just see them like trying to make this cute.
Like dumb it down.
Yeah, like just trying to make it cute and acceptable for moms to take their kids to the theater.
So what about Oscar Isaac's in the role though? How do you think he's gonna do? Because I actually really like
good.
Oscar
He's
Isaac.
good.
He's
Yeah.
good.
I give him the credit for
Yeah.
taking this role. But the thing is, with playing Moon Knight, my perspective of it, his multiple personalities. For me, seeing the clips and the previews, he got it pretty down pat.
I know, that's the
It
part
looks-
I kind of
it-
like
it looks
about
like
it.
Yeah,
And dude, the
it looks like it
suits,
for sure.
that suit with the vest.
the suit with the vest is great, but Moon Knight would have worn that. Moon Knight comes out directly with.
Well, that was one of his personas,
Yeah.
though, right? If I'm not.
No, but the thing is, when Moon Knight comes, he was supposed to have if I'm not mistaken, it's four personas.
Yeah,
One is Mark Spector. It's like three other ones, but each one has their different version of Moon Knight. But the main one that you see is the one jumping off the building with the cape and the moon and the symbols and all. That's the darkest one you will get. And I understand that this is an origin for Disney, but for them to bring out Moon Knight and to not have a PG-13 or not to have it on you have to sign in for it or something like that, it's not going to do it justice. It can't do it justice just because it's not rated R, because you're not getting the full-fledged character.
Because Moon Knight is superhero version of Splinter.
Yeah.
It's the superhero version of Splinter.
Really?
He has these 4 different personas. Like, let's just talk about the fact that there's split personalities going on here. So you think this person, they're putting this out like he just jumps into these different personas and there's no trauma. Like, you're having enough problems being yourself, much less managing the other 3 that want control. That's what made Splinter such a great movie, because he was trying to manage these. And on top of that, now you've got a superhero persona that you're trying to manage. So how could this possibly be a PG movie?
What you got?
No, I mean, I don't have comic book knowledge the same way I think you guys do, so to speak. So I'll just put it this way: what I know of Moon Knight, I like the actor, like you said.
Right.
I like the actor a lot. I'm gonna go into it kind of blank to an extent, because all I've ever seen is like YouTube videos on the background of Moon Knight and things like that. So like, I would say though that it goes into kind of a more like the topic we were gonna touch on, which was like, Marvel PG-13ing things that are supposed to be dark. And I think it could be an issue. I think Moon Knight's gonna set the precedent for how things go moving forward as far as Deadpool, Blade, things like that. So like I think what we get here is kind of gonna be like a baseline of like, hey, like, because I think they're gonna try to toe the line as much as they possibly can, but I don't know how much you could toe the line PG-13. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's one of the main things.
And I think that. Like, I understand Marvel wanting to bring in the larger audience and say, hey, you know, we have younger fans, is that the other thing? But I do think, like we've all said here, some of these stories are kind of dark. So, like, I don't think it would be the worst thing to say, like, hey, parents, listen, this is rated R. You know your kids want to see it, but we're going to rate it R. It needs to be, you know, like, make it more for the adults, too. Because fans like us out there that are like, hey, I want to see the you know, the dark stuff. You know what I mean?
This is my point. There ain't no kid playing for Disney Plus on himself.
Mm-hmm.
And if for an adult, I understand Disney has Discovery Channel, it has all this other stuff. If you can't, you should have a section. Disney, please make a section for the adults.
Well, they have. They made the mature. They put it through.
They made a mature section.
A lot of parents complained, actually.
I understand that they complained, and I understand all that shit, but you cannot make Deadpool again if you don't make it R.
Right.
You can't make,
which they're finding a director, by the way. I think they found one.
Yeah. You can't make Blade. After Wesley Snipes killed that role.
Oh, that movie was so
after
good.
he killed that role, you can't make him. You can't. There's no possible way you can make him light.
I get what you're saying, but do you think to an extent? So like, let's start. So we have Moon Knight coming up, but let's start with Deadpool. Do you think Ryan Reynolds comes back in this role if he hasn't had multiple conversations with Marvel about keeping the character intact the way it is now?
Yeah, the same thing.
Like, I don't think that they'll dull him down and Ryan Reynolds just be like, oh, that's cool.
The same character that the Punisher.
Right, but that's my point.
He had the conversation with Marvel.
Marvel has to have the conversation.
He had the conversation with Marvel, and he supposed this is what's been on the blogs and people been talking about is that if you want me to come back as Punisher, you can't. If I see something dumbed down, and I think that it's not going to go the way that I did it on the
100%.
Netflix special, I'm going to walk away from the series. Yeah.
By the way, of everybody out there, of those Netflix specials, The Punisher is probably the best one. I'm not gonna lie to you. The Punisher is fantastic. If you haven't watched it, watch The Punisher.
Punisher has always been
but even
the actor,
what's his name? What was his name?
Damn it!
I love him too. I love him from The Walking Dead. He's Shane from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, he's Shane.
He's
just Shane.
He's Shane from The Walking Dead. But he's phenomenal as Punisher. So I hope they don't ever recast it again. That's my point. If they brought him back, I'd love to see him brought back in that role as well.
And nobody watched Iron Fist on Netflix.
No, don't ever watch that.
Oy vey.
Ever. That was horrible.
They did that character, but in hindsight,
but here's what I'll say as far as like Moon Knight. I think if Moon Knight flops, I'm very worried about Marvel shows this year. Let me put it that way. Because if Moon Knight flops, the next two coming out,
John Bernal.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank PJ.
The next two coming out are Miss Marvel and the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
Yes.
And then there's She-Hulk. I'm gonna be honest with you. If Moon Knight sucks, I haven't had confidence.
I am passionate in She-Hulk.
Okay,
good.
That's cool. Here's my point though. I haven't, when I saw the full, because they've shown us these are the shows we're going to do over the next 5 years, right? This is what we have to play,
exactly.
Right? So my worry is I'm not overly passionate about Miss Marvel because I just...
Kamala Khan, though.
But again, like Kamala Khan, I just don't... she's a give or take character to me.
You know
That's just where I'm at.
I played that...
And She-Hulk could go either way.
Yes.
She-Hulk could either be really, really good... Mm-hmm. Really, really bad.
Yep. The only reason I'm really excited about Miss Marvel and Kamala Khan is because I played that fucking Avengers game that sucked.
Yes.
But the original story was based around her, and it was good.
Right.
So like, if they do something like that and explain her Inhuman stuff,
right. She has
that
a cool
might
origin
be really
story.
cool.
I've seen her origin story.
I think She-Hulk's gonna knock it out the park.
You think
yeah,
so?
Mark Ruffalo
because
back, Abomination back.
Listen, they've already corrected the original Hulk movie. We know at this point what works, and so
that's when Marvel was baby in CGI.
You know what I'm saying? So at this point, it's they don't even have to do half of the stuff that they have to do with the Hulk for She-Hulk.
Fair.
You know what I mean? Because he's really on brute time, and she still has her intelligence. So
Right.
so I think that they've proven that they can do dialogue and they can do violence. So I think they're gonna knock it out of the block with that. Mrs.
Okay,
Marvel.
what about Miss Marvel?
Miss Marvel's up in the air. I think honestly the thing to do with Miss Marvel is make that a family comedy
Yes.
superhero
Okay,
movie.
fair.
You know what I mean? And
So
I think-
like more along the lines of Hawkeye. Miss
Yes,
Marvel,
yes,
Hawkeye,
yes,
kind
yes,
of ish,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Yes,
That's
I
fair.
think that works.
That's the one thing that I do feel that they failed on with Hawkeye and Kate Bishop is that they put Kingpin.
First
in.
off, you say that name right.
It's Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop.
You have to
always
say
Kate
it like
Bishop.
this. You have to say it like this.
It's
You have
always
to say it like
Kate
this.
Bishop.
And,
Say it like
wait,
this.
so shout out to my boy Derek. So DC went darker and saw a huge benefit. Marvel is going to go for it. They
better.
have to.
They better.
They have to.
They have
That's
to.
a big point.
They better.
Yep. And
'Cause if
Jeffrey
they
Jeffrey
don't-
says we need to judge after the Doctor Strange movie too, because of that Doctor Strange movie is gonna change.
Okay,
I think it's gonna change everything.
Okay, first of all, that's what I was gonna say. The Doctor Strange movie is going to be. This is going to lead us into the next 10 years of movies.
Agreed.
Facts.
I'm telling you right now,
Completely
this
agree.
movie
It's
is
the,
going
it's
to.
the Illuminati stuff. That
Right,
they're-
right.
This-
You're opening up the cans of worms.
And
You know what I
this,
mean?
and this is the greatness of Marvel. They start you at a point.
Right.
They take you to this motherfucking peak, and then they hit you with damn Endgame, and then
Right.
they bring it back to this damn peak again
Right.
with this
Yeah.
with Doctor Strange,
But-
and they're gonna hit you with probably Secret Wars.
Yeah.
But see,
Yeah. There's no way they're not working to that.
But
But they are.
They have to be.
7 years from now.
Oh, yeah. 7 to 10
7
years from now.
you know what I mean?
We
Like-
haven't even gotten.
Right.
Think about it. We haven't
That's
even.
the point.
We haven't even gotten the Thanos tease. When we got
Right.
the Thanos tease, how many years did that take? It took 10
years.
years.
10 years.
but that's what I'm saying though. The Doctor Strange thing to me is a hub because once he does what he does, it's like, okay, which direction do you want to go?
Yeah.
And this is where all these other stories go because now you can actually bring back characters who have died and do a movie that's a spin-off for them.
Exactly.
And-
100%.
Yeah.
It's gonna open up everything.
Yeah, it's like
It's gonna open up everything.
And this is the greatness of Marvel, and this is Marvel always has a way back, and so does DC. DC has a way back, because I'm sorry, the Joker, great fucking movie.
listen.
Yeah, but right now they're in an endless maze. They just can't find their way out.
They can't find
Well,
out.
they-
That's
no.
the problem.
They
No,
can't-
they can find their way out.
yeah.
The problem is that they won't turn the knob and open the damn door. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're standing in front of the door. They have you have an Oscar-winning Joker in Joaquin Phoenix. You had these are wins.
Yeah, but now-
Joaquin Phoenix. You had Wonder Woman. Good
Okay,
win.
okay.
Box office wins. I'm
gonna
talking
stop-
about box
I'm
office.
gonna stop you right there, though. Haven't they already teased another Joker outside of Joaquin Phoenix?
Oh, they did.
Right.
Yes.
So that's my point.
And
See what I'm
this-
saying?
they
Why
keep
do we have two
recasting.
Jokers?
And this
Why?
Is, and this is
What?
this is the problem because you have to understand one thing. Joaquin Phoenix to play that Joker that he played, he can't be stable. In his mind, in personal life, you can't be stable to play that
That's
character.
Listen,
To do it right, you can't play it
Listen,
stable.
You know what was the best Joker? The one from Suicide Squad.
I swear to God.
Here, throw this at him.
Fucking.
I don't know what he's talking about. His golds were great. His gold teeth were great.
Yeah. Welcome to the fucking
Listen,
button.
the best,
I'm kidding, everyone. Literally the worst Joker ever made. I'm joking.
the best
I want
Joker.
the front. I
best
want the fronts. I want the fronts, man. Give me the fronts.
Nah.
The
damn
best
it,
Jokers
right here.
are always the most unstable Jokers. Listen, when
Ledger or
see
Phoenix?
see the
Jack
pencil.
Nicholson.
See the pencil. Now watch that.
Fucked up.
Bang! That's the Joker to me.
Okay, everybody at this table, Ledger or Phoenix?
Ledger.
Ledger.
Every time.
100% Ledger.
You know why? 'Cause
I'm shocked everybody said Ledger.
I'll give you
Like,
one.
without
I'll
even
give,
a thought.
I'll give you one
Without
scene.
even a thought.
I'll give
Wow.
you. I'll give you one scene.
I mean, I liked Phoenix, to be honest with you,
Okay.
but I get it.
I'll give
Ledger
you.
was-
I'll give you
Ledger
one.
was
I'll
good.
give you one scene that will beat Joaquin Phoenix in the whole movie. When Ledger has Two-Face in the bed in the hospital, and he tells him, "Oh, come and shoot me." Where was his hand on that 45?
Oh, it was on the trigger.
Sure.
He was never gonna get to shoot him.
It's
rest
never
in
gonna
peace.
get.
And just that alone
Yeah.
Just that alone,
Yeah.
that's
It's-
Joker.
That's just the sinister.
That's
part
the
of
cine-
what-
that's him thinking 10 steps
ahead
ahead.
of
Yeah.
everybody.
Because if you shoot
Right.
me, if you actually do pull the trigger, guess what's gonna happen to
you're
you?
already dead.
You're already dead.
You're already dead. You're already dead.
That one scene beat Joaquin Phoenix the whole Joker.
Wendell said with the fronts and Ledger.
with the fronts.
The fronts, man. Those fronts are what? Give me the fronts.
No, you know what? I actually like the scene where he like walks in and just talks to the mob. That whole scene
Yeah,
is amazing
yeah.
too.
The pencil
Yeah.
scene.
The whole pencil scene.
Oh, the pencil
The
scene.
whole
That's
pencil scene.
the whole pencil scene.
Right.
They're just
Talking
sitting
about
there-
how they're meeting in daylight because they're scared of him.
Yeah.
And then like and this one's gonna squeal. Like,
Yeah,
over
yeah,
here.
yeah.
I know a squealer. I
Right.
know a squealer. That's a squealer right,
Right.
there.
Yeah, and Gamble here needs to get a nickel for his grandma.
Yeah.
Listen, I got this on lock.
Dude, listen, that's the Joker.
Yes,
that's
It
like
is.
straight off the cartoon. Boom, there he is.
Yep, facts.
And this is the thing. You have to be unstable to play him.
Mhm.
There's no way that you can be a stable. Look at Jack Nicholson. Anybody can tell me that Jack Nicholson is a stable human being?
Dude,
My man.
you can't be. You can't be, bro.
Heath Ledger.
There's
The
just
movies he
there's-
did before that.
There's just certain roles that fit certain people. You know
Exactly.
What I mean? That's just
Yeah.
it is what it is. What it is. You
Heath
know?
Ledger, and I'm not taking nothing away from Joaquin Phoenix. That was a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great fucking movie.
Yeah. But it's an alternative.
It's an
not-
alternative.
It's not the mainstream.
It's not Heath Ledger. Look what I can do with this
But
shit.
if you think about it conceptually, isn't it really crazy that they've nailed? I don't want to say nailed, but they've hit on Joker 3 times, but like
They can't hit on the
we
Batman.
can't hit on a Batman. Like we can't hit on a Batman.
No, they hit on him. They hit on him with the
Because-
Dark Knight.
But you know what I mean.
But
Yeah,
this
yeah,
was
yeah,
it
yeah.
though. They keep dodging
Right.
the
That's my
target.
point.
It's
Right.
a problem. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's my whole-
because
that's my
we're,
whole
we're not
issue.
we're not afraid to do a whole Joker movie, which is just completely dark and whatnot and sad.
Right.
But we can't make Batman who he's supposed to be.
Right.
Yep.
Like that, you keep dodging the target. That's the
Right.
problem.
Shit, let me see. Did we cover it?
No, I mean, I know that I kind of got us off topic, but
No, dude.
I mean,
the next
I mean,
topic is Blade. So,
yeah. I mean,
all right, wait. Say what you have to finish, and then we hit this one.
no, I think to end the point where we're going with the whole dark thing is that like I hope Marvel really does toe the line. Basically, I hope they really push it as far as they can go, and if not, I hope they make the switch. Honestly, this is where I'm going with this. I hope they make some kind of switch to rated R before we get to the Blades, the Deadpools, and the X-Men. To be completely honest with you,
Yeah,
That's where I'm at.
I would really like them to get the rated R right,
Right. Because I would,
or
because,
just the rated M for
because
mature.
I also think the mutants bring a dark side too.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Origin stories.
All right. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
This
Is this-
is
last topic. I
last
think?
topic. Last topic, gentlemen.
Another one.
All right. Last topic of the night. Blade.
Oh man.
We're gonna.
All right, spoilers. Like the end of Eternals, just hearing his voice, I'm like,
Yeah.
give me life.
Yeah.
Yo, and they picked the
Mahershala
actor.
Ali.
They picked the
Listen.
actor.
Mahershala Ali is great.
Listen, Mahershala Ali
Is
is
great.
gonna knock.
He's gonna kill the
this
role.
Right.
shit
I
out
just
the
hope they
park.
give him the
If-
right
if-
material to
If you-
knock it. You know what I mean?
If you,
That's
if
what
you
it
were
is.
gonna if you were gonna script somebody to be a Wesley Snipes replacement,
Jeebus
That's the
Christ.
dude.
it's Mahershala Ali.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's where Marvel kills it with the casting.
The
to be
casting.
completely honest with you.
Yeah, Marvel.
Right. Especially
except for fucking Ben
especially-
Affleck.
Except for
Ben
Ben
No, but like
We have to
especially
make this a fucking clear in this
Okay,
podcast.
Yo,
okay.
it's-
Ben Affleck cannot play
Right,
a fucking
but
Marvel character
but like-
for the rest of my life.
especially Captain Marvel, like they nailed it, like they did the right thing.
Why are you trying to get? We,
I can't.
Excuse me, everybody on the podcast. From in a couple of episodes, we're gonna have an Aaron meter. When we
Brie Larson is a wonderful person who sells a lot of Nissans.
we're gonna have an Aaron meter. It's gonna go off when we talk about Brie Larson and the Knicks. So
I'm not talking about the Knicks. My blood
Oh, we're not gonna get them started yet, but this is something to look forward to for the next
Aaron
couple.
meter. So excited
We're
for
gonna
it.
have an Aaron meter. and then you're
not
gonna have,
funny.
and then you're gonna have,
It's not funny.
you're
Not
gonna
a
have-
game.
It's not a game.
and then you're gonna have me with the fucking Suicide Squad meter. So,
Right.
all right,
All right,
so
Blade. Who's he fighting?
Mahershala Ali.
I've heard
I have
rumors
so
that
many freaking rumors.
Yo.
Yeah.
I heard
can't
one that I
speak.
liked.
Shit, bring Trey Blake.
Dracula. I've heard Dracula.
Give me the fronts.
Yeah.
Give me the fronts again.
But-
Again,
Nobody,
the
nobody
fucking
else. Nobody else heard me but you.
I didn't hear that. What did you say?
I said, bring back Triple H.
Give me the
Oh,
fronts.
facts.
Give me the fronts again. I want the fronts.
Oh wait, can we bring back Jessica Biel? I feel very passionate
That's
about
fair.
bringing back Jessica Biel.
That's fair.
I'm very
Get
passionate
this
about
guy.
her.
Marvel, I have a formal request.
Yep. Oh, listen, Derek loves the Blade pick, and Jeffrey has to be Dracula.
I mean,
Or like you know what listen, they might throw Morbius in there somehow.
I was
'cause
just getting ready to say,
Maybe Morbius.
like, listen,
Jared
that's-
Leto, Morbius,
that's
what up?
Makes a lot of sense.
It's a no-brainer
Makes a lot
that
of
there
sense.
is
Yep.
some type of cross with him and Morbius.
Makes
It's
a
a
lot of sense.
no-brainer.
That has to be.
There has to be.
That's the Marvel genius stuff.
They
Okay.
have to run into each other.
But can I ask a stupid question? To me, this is what I didn't get. Where's the Eternals tie-in? Like, why was Blade at the end of Eternals? Because I still haven't.
No,
gotten that.
because of Dane Whitman.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because of the
I
sword,
get
the
that,
ebony
because
blade.
of the sword.
Yeah.
Because spoilers. Dane Whitman is.
We're really gonna have to do it before.
because Dane Whitman is
Black Knight.
Black Knight.
Yes.
Black Knight.
But I don't
It's the
know.
Blade.
I don't know the Black Knight blade.
Neither do I. I just know that
tie-in.
it has
That's what
something to do.
I don't-
It has
I
something to
don't
do with the
know it.
ebony blade because it's
Okay.
like all
The sword.
darkness.
So
and,
it's
yeah.
the sword.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
the
It's
source.
the source.
It's the
Okay.
source of a lot of. Blade is supposedly okay in the comic book. Supposedly the ebony blade started the vampires and blah blah
Okay.
blah 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 blah.
Right,
It's the
right,
source
okay,
of a
gotcha.
lot of the evil,
Fair.
and it turns him into a lot of different stupid shit.
Okay.
So that's where the ebony blades ties in.
Okay.
But with the Eternals, for their next movie, they
Which I hope doesn't suck.
No. Again, origin story. You gotta live through the origin
But-
story.
I would really like to talk about Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie and how passionate I feel about them.
Abel's passion level.
I'm very like all time high.
we have a
passion level.
We have a passion level. We have a passion level.
I just want to say, like,
Abel's
this side of the
passion
room gets
level.
all warm and stuff. It starts puffing.
I'm a very
Warm
warm,
and fuzzy.
I'm a very warm guy. How you doing?
It's a warm and fuzzy.
Yeah,
on
you're
some
warm and
occasions,
fuzzy
if
on
you
that
will.
side of the room all of a sudden.
That's why we have this much space, man. Cable and
Yeah, exactly. See, the one thing about the Eternals from the original comics was there was just so much going on with the Eternals. They never really kind of took off.
Right.
It was easy to focus in on Hulk and Spider-Man and some of the
'Cause you
other
had just
characters
one
because you
main
just had
character.
one main character.
One main.
But the Eternals was really like all of these different characters. None of them really had powers that really like jumped out. It was like so. I think that we're still kind of getting to the meat of this, but the Eternal story is very big. And like I said, you have to live through the origin stories. I know the original Eternal movies for some people were just like, what the hell just happened? Trust me, if they go forward with what they're going with, you're gonna be like, oh, 'cause there's so much in there.
It's really difficult
There's
to origin
so
story
much in
7
there.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Say
yeah,
that.
it's-
At the
it's-
same and they
will-
still miss some stuff.
Wait,
oh, yeah.
wait. It's really hard to origin story 7 characters plus the Celestials.
well, that's where I was about to get. That's where I was about to get. Yo, first of all, how good did the Celestials
right,
look?
that was.
Oh,
the-
yeah.
that
Second
was
of
the
all,
part of the movie to me. Yeah.
all I thought about when the sky was parted at the end of that movie was Galactus.
Right.
That's how I want to see Galactus. Just like that. I want to see.
You don't want to just see a cloud.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
I
want-
thought about it, and my answer is no.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to see the
I mean, I was
storm.
looking forward to another cloud.
Oh shit!
Ah!
Hey, the Earth is over! Oh my god!
No,
Oh my God.
honestly, the part that Eternals was like, I think I read somewhere that it was the worst rated. I'm saying rated.
Yeah.
Marvel movie or like received Marvel movie since hear me out. Since I want to say since like Thor: The Dark World or Iron Man 3.
Which is sad because like I
It's-
actually didn't think
yeah,
it
Iron
was
Man
that
3
bad.
people didn't like it.
Yeah,
And Eternals wasn't that like it was slow, but it wasn't as bad as I feel like people made it out to.
It was slow. Yes,
It was slow.
because it's like
That's
he
what-
said,
that's the
it's an
problem.
origin story.
Origin story.
You have to know the backbone of the characters.
But that's the thing with like people have gotten so accustomed to seeing like
Yeah.
the pace is so fast now that that you're like that now. If you don't get that and you get this slower origin story,
Yeah.
now it's like you're disappointed. Like I feel like casual Marvel fans, if you will, somebody who's just gonna go. I go see all the movies, but like I don't really know anything comic book wise. Is that and the other thing? Like they're not a hard like a nerd. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like. I feel like they went and saw Eternals and were like, wow, this was the most boring 3 hours of my life, which I could get from that perspective.
Right.
But the thing is, if
There's
you really,
so much in there, though.
there's so much that happens in there that
Oh
as
my God.
somebody who likes that stuff,
Yeah.
you're like, whoa, what, like, that was like, it was slow, but wow, that was
Right.
pretty cool. You
Even-
know what I mean?
Even
Like,
One Direction playing Thanos' brother, like I'm fine.
right. You're
Whatever.
like, all right, whatever, right, that works.
Yeah.
There okay.
Yeah,
But like, there's just so there were so many
kinda-
layers to unpack.
Yeah, but
in
you
that
know what?
movie,
It might
and
it might
you're
really
like,
work. Like I don't know. Like
The thing is with you're
Oh.
tying Blade with Eternals and with everything that's going on.
Star Fox.
yep, there you go. Yeah,
Right.
Guardians of the Galaxy movie with Eternals.
Right. I could
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
I could see
It's
that.
Big
supposed
facts.
to.
Adam Warlock.
How about Captain Marvel? You can put Captain Marvel in there with
Yes.
the Celestials.
Finally.
Hello?
That'll be-
Hello?
Dude, it fits.
Is she driving a
Right.
Nissan?
Right. More movies with Brie Larson
Listen,
with
listen.
the haircut.
I'm gonna
listen.
pass.
Hello, Marvel.
I'm gonna pass.
No blockbuster in Captain Marvel.
No, honestly,
no blockbuster.
honestly, I would. I'm not gonna knock Brie Larson on this cast. If they put Brie Larson back up in space fighting
Yeah.
other cosmic
Yeah.
beings, I'm in. It's
Right.
fine.
And honestly, I'm gonna talk very passionately about
Fine.
Monica Rambeau in the WandaVision
also
series.
wonderful.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna talk
Yeah.
very passionately about her.
Yeah, Monica.
Because
Rambeau,
if she's gonna be
yeah.
a part of the Marvels, I'm in.
She is
100%.
She's part of the Marvels,
Give it
for
to me.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But also with Blade, they casted him right.
They cast him
Yep.
for sure.
Now, the question is the PG-13 tag.
Right.
I mean,
Has it already been dubbed PG-13?
But that's why I want to see.
Supposedly.
But that's why I want to
No.
see Batman because everyone's saying it's so dark and gritty. Like, how dark and gritty is it?
Okay,
But
but,
is it, what's
like-
it rated?
Rated PG-13?
No, it is. I think it is.
okay, but,
Fuck outta here.
No, I think it's R. Dead seriously, I think
yeah,
it's
I
R.
think all right. But,
Stand
but
by.
let me,
Sure,
let me,
it's
let me
all
say
right.
this
Stand by.
about the PG-13 thing. It has grown compared to what it was when it first arrived.
Yeah, when we were
So
kids,
a lot of
right.
movies that were R back when we were younger
Right.
are now considered PG-13. So the whole PG-13
PG-13.
Is it?
doesn't necessarily
Yeah, now you got to see it, huh?
yeah
No.
it doesn't it doesn't necessarily mean that it's like completely it's just on the lower end of an R. That's what the new PGR
So
PG-13
what do you
is.
think that line is, though? Is that like less gore and violence, essentially?
I think that you.
It's
I
less
think
glitter
that,
chest.
yeah.
Okay,
I think that the subject matter.
All right. Enough out of you two now.
So I think on the PG-13, it's going to depend on the content of the violence and what
Right.
you get to see.
That's my.
So if I do a serial killer on a PG-13 movie, you get the understanding that something happened, but you don't see the guts. If I'm showing you guts and blood, then we got the PG-13. We got the R.
Okay, but can I be honest? Tying this back to, I'm just gonna tie this back to Wesley Snipes' Blade. I love the violence in those
I
movies.
know I needed the
Listen,
violence. It wasn't
listen to me.
With
Every
that
time-
music, you
but-
cannot
but-
have
no,
it.
there
love that
wait,
song.
there were bad parts of the. I love those movies personally. There were bad parts of those movies, plot holes, this, that, and the other thing.
Right.
But the action and violence in those movies to me are what made them. It was fantastic.
listen,
I love seeing this dude stand there in the corner of the club with a laser on somebody saying,
Right.
go ahead, take a shot. Let's see what happens.
And,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
I loved every bit of the violence and shit that went down in those Blade movies.
Listen, it's a vampire movie. How can you not have blood?
Right, that's my point.
It's a vampire
That's
movie.
my point.
Like
That's
blood
what
is the
I'm saying.
blood is the basics
Yep.
for
Wendell,
everything.
Wendell says it's less gore and you can only drop one F-bomb.
Well, we've already dropped more of those than this, so this is not a PG-13.
Yep. What
This is
he-
not a
what
PG-13
Leo said.
stream.
We're gonna drop F bombs for him. Fuck that. That one started.
This is what I'm talking about. Disney, love Disney, love Marvel,
It's gonna be
love
tough.
Marvel more than Disney.
Will they get that
It's
right?
gonna be tough.
Will
for
they
sure.
get that right?
I think they will.
And with Moon
I hope
Knight,
so.
and with Moon Knight,
Moon Knight's
and
gonna set the barometer.
Moon Knight is going to set the barometer for the rest.
100%.
Because if I'm who's the actor who plays Deadpool? Ryan Reynolds, and I see Moon Knight, and they try to hit me with this PG-13 shit.
Yes.
I tell them I don't want to play the role no more.
Right.
And there is nobody on the planet that can play Deadpool better than him.
First off, they'll never recast it.
Let me say
Derek
this.
says it's a Blade must be rated R.
Right.
Well,
I
couldn't agree with you more.
110%.
Let me say this. The only person to me that could play him other than Ryan Reynolds is probably too old to play him, which is Jim Carrey. For me. But again, Jim Carrey is a little bit too old to play him.
Why do I like that?
But
I kind of like that.
Because
I kind of do like that.
listen, let me tell you something. Like Jim Carrey would play the shit out of him.
Yeah.
But
that's a solid. That
at
is
this
solid.
point,
That
Jim
is
Carrey
solid.
is a little bit too old to play him. Ryan Reynolds has put this thing in a lane that is going to be very hard for anybody else to step into.
100%.
It's the same thing.
And,
Okay.
and let me tell you something. I don't really like Deadpool. I never really did.
I like that.
But listen,
The assassin
Ryan
with
Reynolds
the merc with the mouth?
completely
Come on.
he completely fits into this
I mean, like
character.
he was his best self in X-Men Origins Wolverine. I mean,
Yeah.
No. Honestly,
we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this meter.
honestly, though,
he was his best self.
No, honestly,
I mean,
though,
it's like Deadpool
Disney-
now, Green Lantern, Deadpool, X-Men Wolverine.
no, honestly though,
I'm lying, guys. I'm lying.
You have to put it this way though. There isn't anybody else right now that could play
No,
Deadpool.
but you know what's crazy? Even in that
know what I mean?
stupid Wolverine Origins movie, the way he was talking, you're like, just put the mask on. Just put the fucking mask on.
Right.
Yeah, that's all he fucking needs.
Yes.
That's all he fucking needed.
Speaking of recasting, Godspeed to whoever has to replace Hugh
Wolverine.
Jackman. Godspeed to that
Fight
person. I've told everybody at this table, I hope when they do Wolverine.
Whoa, Morbius is PG.
See,
Bro,
see,
wait. I'm gonna go on a limb
Ooh.
right now. We're not talking about Morbius on this podcast.
not this one. Not
Okay,
this-
I'm just gonna say it out loud. Morbius is not gonna be a good movie. I'm just gonna say it now. Morbius.
No,
is gonna
Morbius
suck.
is PG-13. I'm sorry, Jeffrey. You are incorrect, sir.
If it was PG, that movie's gonna be horrible. I was just saying. PG-13, it still might.
But
not be
I
that
think he's
good.
saying it's PG-13. It's not R. You know what I mean? But when
Okay.
Morbius is a darker character,
Well,
should it
Morbius
be
is
R?
a dark character.
Well,
That's my
that
point.
might be another judgment of like, do we need
Okay.
to see this movie and see how dark it is?
But again, we have to remember that our definition of PG-13 and what PG-13 is today is just a lower version of R. It's not necessarily meaning that it's going to be a Disney movie because it's PG-13. It's just they're just leaving out certain things that make it an R. So you're not going to get maybe as much blood and guts, or some of the sexual innuendos
Right, yeah.
will not be the same. But listen. Let's not forget that all of this is a business. At the end of the day, Marvel is playing the numbers,
Yes.
and what they're trying to do is skirt the line.
Mm.
So if I don't include the head getting chopped
How
off,
do I get the
it's
kids
a-
to come in here and watch this
It's a
movie more than
PG-13
yeah,
if I don't if I don't show the head rolling.
Yep.
So the head doesn't roll. So we show the guy swipe, he cuts the head off. Nobody sees the head.
Right.
It's a PG-13.
It's-
I get mom
yeah.
and all the kids because it's PG-13.
Right. It's like in Dark Knight Rises where like he put the knife to Gamble's face. They didn't show what he did,
Right.
but you
Right.
know what
But
he
you
did.
you get that.
And then he
You got
had
the picture.
tryouts.
And that's the beauty, because when you go to a lot of the older black and white movies, this is what they did. It insinuated that certain
This is
things happened,
Thursday, yeah,
but you
didn't
didn't get
get
to
it.
see it.
Which even in the I don't know. I mean, everybody's here seen the Moon Knight trailer, obviously.
Yeah,
right? There's even a thing where I think, if I'm not mistaken, Moon Knight's like beating up somebody, and they're like, you just see shadows. Like you're not actually.
By the way,
seeing-
they think that's Werewolf at Night, which is going to lead to some Midnight
Right,
Sun
Midnight
shit, which
Sun
is like a
stuff, right.
whole.
So but that's my point.
Spoiler.
But that's my point. The PG-13 could be good if they do it like that, where they're like showing you things without actually showing you what's going on. It might not be that bad if they do things like that.
But you also
know
got to
what I mean?
realize one thing with Moon Knight, it's Werewolf by Night,
Right.
it's Dracula. Now, if they do Dracula and just in Dracula and Werewolf by Night,
And do not be surprised if you see Blade.
you have to see Blade.
I think
Listen,
I think
have-
Blade's gonna show up in a
third year.
show or a
At
movie
least third
before
year.
he has his own. I think he's gonna show up somewhere. He
I
has
can't
to.
wait to see Mahershala Ali in the
Oh
leather
my
jacket.
god! Yo, no, not even that. No, not even that.
With the leather flap?
No.
With the leather, with the leather
No.
flap, the leather
Do
jacket.
that. If I see him
I'm
do
in.
the Wesley Snipes,
That, yeah, you're gonna see that.
I'm gonna lose my shit.
100%.
If he doesn't do the sword right, I'm gonna be
Yo,
pissed.
I have a
Listen,
wait,
listen,
wait.
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be
We're
pissed.
talking about Mahershala Ali. Everything's gonna be completely tight. Now, listen, certain actors I have complete confidence in.
And Mahershala Ali,
Jamie
for
Foxx
sure.
is one of those guys.
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali is one of
Yo,
those
he's one of
guys,
those guys,
bro.
yeah.
He's is a stickler for detail. He's gonna get that
he's gonna
angle
kill the
right,
role,
bro. Like
for sure.
I've no concerns about him. None.
Who's here for a Wesley Snipes cameo in Doctor Strange in Multiverse?
Two
of
hands.
Madness?
Two hands.
Yo, if I see Wesley Snipes in Multiverse of Madness, I'm letting you know right now. I'm gonna scream like a little girl.
Yeah.
I'm letting you know right now.
I just want to see him come in there. Wesley Snipes says, "You motherfucker."
I want to see some. I want to see.
You,
some
that's what I
crazy
want.
shit right
He just
now.
like come out, just you motherfucker. MC right there. That's it. That's all he has to do,
Bro, there's no cameo that's off limits in this movie as far as I'm
Yes.
concerned.
Yes.
No cameo is off limits to me. In
Yo,
this
the
movie.
last time I screamed like a little girl
I
like
think-
that was Rogue One when Vader came out at the end of that movie. I don't know if anyone saw that.
Lies.
When did I scream in a movie like that?
Endgame.
No,
When
I
Cap-
cried.
no,
I cried in a movie.
Fucking Endgame when Thor got the fucking hammer.
No.
You like, yeah! We all were fucking screaming our fucking heads
Oh,
off.
Captain
Okay,
America.
Yeah, when Captain America
Captain
got the
America
fucking
got the
hammer.
Okay, I
I
did-
mean,
No, listen.
Everybody
screamed.
did.
I
Yo,
mean-
but when I saw that scene in Rogue One where the lightsaber just ignited,
Oh, yeah.
I literally grabbed the two people that were next to me and I said, "This is not happening right now." I fucking lost my shit. But that Star Wars is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
First off, when Captain America got Mjolnir, I think everybody.
Oi.
But
I think everybody lost.
I
their
still
shit.
I still cry when he says Avengers Assemble.
that.
That
But I mean-
that is
But I mean,
But Marvel's
but
about
if you-
moments.
I
You
know.
know what I mean? Moments.
I
Marvel's about
actually
moments.
wasn't surprised that he picked up Mjolnir.
No, I wasn't
surprised.
I wasn't
At the
surprised.
Because we-
party,
yeah,
at the
yeah.
party, you saw him go, and that's it. And Thor was like, "Hey, motherfucker!"
Right.
You know what?
They've been teasing it for years.
Because if you understand the whole process, then you understand that he can pick it up. He's one. I'm not gonna lie. I lost my shit when everybody showed up at the end, and I'm just like, it's everybody! Like, oh my god!
Everyone.
It's everybody! We're gonna kick everybody's ass right now! Like that's when I lost my
Yo,
shit.
but hear me out. I really think this Doctor Strange movie, they've only teased the cat. Like obviously Patrick Stewart, we already know.
and that's only a tease.
They've only teased. I think we're gonna get like, bro,
the most obnoxious shit.
No, wait, we gotta leave stuff for the next
We do,
episode.
you're right.
We,
That's fair. That's fair. I'll leave.
we gotta leave it for the next
All right,
episode.
cameos we're gonna get
The
though.
cameos we're
Bro,
gonna get are fucking.
I think it's gonna be insane.
And
Literally,
but there's only
insane.
one cameo that I'm not excited for.
Tom Cruise.
Shut your mouth.
It's happening. That's happening.
That's happening.
That's happening.
That has to be spoken in this fucking house.
It's happening.
I went to the danger zone.
and like he's gonna be, and like not for nothing, he's gonna be Ultimate Iron Man, like the Iron Man.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Fuck him.
It's gonna,
Fuck him.
He's fucking too short to be Iron Man.
Fuck him.
Like,
Fuck him. Robert Downey
that
Jr.
what
is fucking Iron Man. That's it.
Yeah,
fucking Hugh Jackman is
Listen,
fucking
yeah, but he
Wolverine.
You're gonna have variants, bro.
Fuck
Fuck
him.
variants.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
All right.
I'm gonna close this out. On that note, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
this has been ManCave 101, episode
Episode
0.
1.
We
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for coming
Thanks for
through.
coming out.
Thank you for hanging
Hey,
out with us.
We'll be back soon.
Don't forget to check us out, ManCave 101 Comics on Instagram. Don't forget to check us out on the Whatnot platform, Slabs Raw Comic Books on Whatnot platform, ManCave 101 Comics. We will see you very soon. Definitely.
Also on the YouTube channel, it's coming up. All the episodes will be directly moved to the YouTube channel to keep watching our episodes. Please, everyone,
Yep.
these are my brothers. We're here.
Yep. We back in about a week.
Don't forget to like and subscribe us.
Yes.
Merch coming soon.
Peace.
Later.
Leo's got an album coming out. Oh.
Oh no, hell no.